Good morning, everyone. Hello and welcome. It's Marcy here from Stampin' with Marcy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in southwestern Ontario, Canada. And I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. For me here in southwestern Ontario, it is morning. It is Monday, February 7th. Can you believe it? I'm just checking all my lighting to see how we are doing. It's a bright sunny day, so hopefully we won't have too many issues. I'm just adjusting things here. So this morning I have a technique card for you. I have pulled out my soft pastels assortment. I haven't played with these in quite a while, so I wanted to play with them, as well as these two fabulous stamp sets from the Celebration brochure. The Island Vibes is free with a $60 purchase, and the Special Moments is free with a $120 purchase. Please say hello when you join me. Let me know where you're coming from. I love to hear from you. Show me some hearts. Facebook loves that. Leave some comments. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, please give me a thumbs up if you like my video. Give me some love there as well. If you haven't yet, please click that subscribe button below, as well as that notification bell, so that you don't miss any future videos from me. And if you're watching the replay on YouTube, please still leave me a comment. I love to hear from you. I do go through and read them and respond where necessary. All right. Good morning, Jeannie. The snow is not, we don't have too awful much. We didn't get as much as they had called for, which was a good thing. It's been awfully chilly, though. Good morning, Heather. How are you? Okay, so this is going to be a little bit longer of a video because of the technique. So this is the card that I am creating. I watched a video from an artist, an actual artist, Sandy Allnock, where she had done a bokeh, however you want to pronounce that, background using her watercolor pencils. The pencil shavings, she used a tea strainer to create those shavings, and created this incredible bokeh background. So I wanted to give it a try with my soft pastels, and this is what I came up with. I love the way it turned out. Now, the back of the box, I'm doing something a little different. The back of the box says that you apply with blending brushes, stamping sponges, or some sponge daubers to blend. And everything that I popped into a couple different videos just to double check what they were saying. And they were saying, you could use your Memento ink, your black ink, or your markers, your watercolor markers. Let me just grab. Right here, the not watercolor, the Stampin' Right markers. Sorry, I've had 3 coffees this morning, so and I'm still not firing on all cylinders. So you can color your stamps with your markers as well, and then apply your pastels, or you could use Versamark. Now, Versamark is incredibly light and soft, which is perfect for the inside. You just want to add that little bit of subtleness. But I was a rebel, and I used my Versamark and my heat and stick powder. And that is how I was able to get that wow image. At least it's wow to me. So yeah, that was I was so happy with the way it turned out. I just created this yesterday morning. I was playing down here. Let's get started. All right. So first off, we are going to stamp our, let's get this done first. I'll bring in my grid paper here. We're gonna ink up the pineapple with the Versamark. And when it's a larger stamp like this, I like to take my ink pad and take it, have my stamp laying down and then apply the ink to the stamp that way. And I'm making sure that I get enough on there. And, all right. Right in the middle. Good morning, Nancy. All right, so there we go. Now you can't really see that. We're just going to set this aside for the moment because we'll be using that for the inside. And the heat and stick powder. All right, so if I bring it up, I don't know if the camera is gonna, my phone is gonna pick up that little bit of glossy. So we are just going to dump this on. Obviously there was some moisture got into my jar because my heat and stick is a little clumpy. And now you can see that image on there. All right, so let's take and get all that lovely product back inside. Close that lid. Now with the heat and stick, you have to be careful that you don't overheat it. It creates the image, it makes it sticky so that you can apply the gold flakes. But you have to be careful that you don't overheat it because then it wrecks the stick. So heat up your heat gun, get it nice and warm to start with. That way you're spending less time heating your image. And that should be good. And you just want to heat it till it is glossy. Doesn't take too much time at all. And I think we are good. With the camera in front of me, it's kind of a stand. I'm going to call that good. It doesn't take quite as long as embossing powder. Yeah, that's nice and tacky. So we're just going to set this aside for a moment while we get out our silicone craft sheet. And I am using my paper snips. So I have the Bumblebee color. I think it's Bumblebee. Maybe it's supposed to be Mango Melody. Our colors are Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Gorgeous Grape, Granny Apple Green, Mango Melody, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, and Poppy Parade. Well, this to me looks more like So Saffron, and this looks like Bumblebee. But whatever, we are just going to take, and you can see I was just shaving, so I just take and shave that on there a bit to get my color there. And where did I stick them? Oh, here we go. So I have just the makeup pads. Dollar store, grocery store, whatever. And then you need a kneaded eraser. So that is this. I showed them when I first got my my pastels, and I ordered these off of Amazon. This is how it came. There was 6 in a pack. I've got one. I gave my daughter Danny one. So you need one of those, and then your sponge daubers. So here is that one, and then my green. So just, and you can mix your greens if you want. All right. So make sure I'm in camera view. Get this out of the way. All right. So I am going to, whoop, I need this first for my, so I'm just picking up some of that, the chalk shavings, and dabbing it on. And there is my image. It's coming through beautifully, and I find that it just, with that heat and stick powder, I don't know, it just is a better image than the plain old Versamark. And I didn't want black. I didn't want that dark. I'm coming in at the bottom with the darker. I didn't want that super dark looking image that I got, or those super, yeah, the super dark image that you get from the using your black ink. I'm going a little heavy on this, so it's making more powder mess. So your kneaded eraser, you can manipulate this so that you just, when it gets a dirty spot, you just twist it, and then we can erase those bits. And you can see the green on there. It just cleans that image up. You can go as heavy or as light with that erasing, depending on what you're doing. Okay. Coming in here to clean up some of those darker areas. All right, so now the base of the pineapple. Now you don't have to shave for this part. You could also just pick up your color this way. It's not going to create as much dust for on your card, your paper that you're working on. And I'm just dabbing it. Go as heavy or as light as you want. But there is my fabulous pineapple. And then we're going to do the inside one just so that you can see the two. There. Isn't that fabulous? I sure think so. So my insert piece. All right, so let's just take, this time, instead of the bottom, let's go and stamp our pineapple right in the middle. All right, we are inked up. And there we go. The trick is to see where, there we go. And it is a very, very subtle image doing it this way. It's just a different way of playing with this stuff. Down here. Because it's the inside, I don't want it super dark. Because this is where I'm going to be writing my message. All right. And there we have a very soft and subtle pineapple. All right. So this is the difference. So this is just adding that heat and stick powder. I think it makes a huge difference. So let's set these two things aside for the moment. And we are going to bring in our, this is just basic white cardstock. And what I'm going to do is I am going to just scrape the chalk to the different areas where I think I might want. All right, and then I'm going to take my, and you can just kind of soften it a bit. Just open those fibers, and I've got it like this. So then I'm just going to take and rub that in. And I'm just rubbing it right into that cardstock. All right, I want more. So you just build it this way. And you can also just wipe that right off of your blade. You don't want it like all even or anything, you just want different areas. So you could play with whatever colors you wanted. So, excuse me, I stuck with the colors that I was using for the pineapple. And this does get a little messy. And the more you add, the deeper it's gonna get. And the more your dots are gonna show through when you create them. Okay, so let's add a bit of the green now. So now remember, I'm a card maker. I am not a professional artist. I'm just playing and creating something that I find visually appealing. I'm not following rules. I'm just doing my own thing, and that's the wonderful thing about creating, that you just start to play and create along the way. Do what you find visually appealing. You get this all over the place. It is messy. It is messy. So you're just going to keep adding more to build that green, because you don't want it too light. And then to check to see if you're getting it as deep as you want before you start lifting up that color, you can bring in your main image to see what you think. Do I need a little bit more, or is that good? And I think I want some more green, just a bit more up here. And let's take a peeky poo here. Yeah, a bit more down here. All right. I thought this was a lot of fun as I was creating it yesterday. All right, and then I want just a titch more of the yellow right in this corner. And maybe down here. All right. So you can see how you just go by your own visual, what you find is appealing, and just build from there. There we go. All right. So the next part is we are going to take, all right, I'm going to take a quick look. Good morning, Leslie, Tammy, Marie, Rona, Anne. So now that I've got this, so you can see every time you do it, it's going to look a little different. And I am totally fine with that. I think it's very cool. All right, so now that we've cleaned that up, get all this out of my way. So you're just going to, the kneaded eraser, you're just going to take it. Let me just quickly wipe my hands, dry them on my jeans. All right, you're going to take your kneaded eraser, and they don't have to be perfect circles or anything like that. You're just going to come in and do little circular motions, as you can see right there. See how just that tiny bit has lifted that up. So you want smaller and larger dots. So see that? So cool. So very cool. And mine kind of looks a bit more polka dotty than the artist. And she then used it for her hand-drawn images. Oh my goodness, this lady So talented. So I'm just, so that I'm getting a nice clean part every time, I am moving my eraser, taking it and twisting it so that I can get nice clean-ish circles. I mean, close enough to me is good enough. And I'm just going around adding little dots. And it's the heat of your hand that helps to move that eraser. Manipulate it to however you want that shape to be. And then of course the deeper, more pastel chalk you put on there, the better your circles are going to be, because you're going to have that real contrast between that dark colored cardstock and then the white underneath. Like I said, mine's kind of polka dotty looking, but you know what? I'm okay with that. I created my very own bouquet or bokeh, however you want to pronounce that, background, and I thought, wow, that's pretty darn cool. And if I can do it, you guys can do it. Totally. Not a whole lot of skill here, just a little bit of patience. And if you ask my father, he'll tell you that I was born without patience. So I'm not kidding. If I can do it, you can do it. So I just want to add a couple more little. And then I think I want a bit bigger right up in here. Oh, such a cool technique. All right, what do we think? Oh, that is cool. I like it. And you can see it's a little different than the other one. And I think I could add probably just a titch more. Let's grab this and this. I think I need, yes, a bit more of that. There, that's better. Oh, so cool. So there, I think I'm going to stop there. Maybe I need a bit brighter right over here. Let's just take and, all right. I'm going to make this one right here. There. All right, so now I've already heat embossed my sentiment, my thanks. This is just Versamark in the white embossing powder. This is Mossy Meadow cardstock, Bumblebee cardstock. All right, I have another silicone craft sheet. And my glue. So all of the measurements, as well as a list of all the products that I have used, can be found over on my blog, which will be published about half an hour after I'm done here on the Facebook Live. I mean, you could go so much deeper with this, but for the sake of not taking up too much of your valuable time, I've kept it kind of light. Now, the sponge daubers are not available right now, even though they are listed. They will be coming back into stock, so if you don't have sponge daubers, you could use a makeup sponge, cotton pad, whatever, for the moment. All right, so Bumblebee 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. All right, then our inside piece. Scoot you over just slightly. Get you just a smidge darker there in the center. There. All right, so then this, I used my dimensionals, which were out and are buried on my table here somewhere. Oh, there they are. As well as my classic matte dots. Right here, I used some of these just to add that little bit more. These things they get. This is why I add liquid glue when I'm adding my embellishments, because I find that these things, they just go everywhere. So I find that that liquid glue helps them stay where I want them to stay. Jeannie, it looks wonderful using the chalk. Yes, isn't that cool? It just, yeah, Brad was up really late on Saturday night. His motocross is on. Like, when I say really late, like 1:30 in the morning, because the racing is in, right now, is in California. So it doesn't come on till 10 o'clock at night. Well, those who know Marcy well know that 10 o'clock at night is Marcy bedtime. Like, really. So he was sleeping in. So I thought, you know what, it's the weekend, but I'm going to have a little play downstairs while he is sleeping in. And that is how I watched that video from Sandy quite a while ago, and it'd been in the back of my mind. So I just thought, you know what? Now is the time to do it. All right, so I'm just straightening my twine with the heat of and the oil from my hand to get that curly Q out. Wrap it around there a few times. Whoop. Snip. Take a peek at these comments. They keep disappearing on me. Hello, Brenda from London. How are you? Thanks for joining. All right, so let's just kind of see which way is this going. Thanks. This way, right? Yes. And I want it messy on there. I don't want it nice and neat and tidy. So let's just bring you up. And the beauty of using the Stampin' Seal is it adds that little bit of, let's bring you down here, that little bit of adhesive so that you can take a moment to manipulate that ribbon or twine or whatever it is you're putting on there. All right, so, and this, every time you use it, it's going to look a little different. So this is the baby ones. Leslie, no, I don't have so much patience. I really, really don't. Okay, take a peek. So this is the part that is going to be stuck to my raised image. So what I'm going to do is, because I've got the twine is going to add a bit of height, that my dimensional is not going to be quite high enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build that up. So, whoops, I'm going to add an extra mini glue dot there and there, so that I've got, it's not going to sink on me, and it's got some adhesive to stick to that. There we go. So then you can also take a little peek-poo once you are, all right, so you can see, now you can see how it is not high enough. So actually what I can do, I can see that I can actually, whoops, come on, there. I can take my take your pick tool. This is my most used tool in my craft room. You can take that, oh, gotta get it. Get off of there. Got to get it lined up right. Okay, so you're just going to build that so that you're not on an angle or anything. And I can actually take one of these. Depending on you, every time is different when you are applying your ribbon or twine, whatever you're doing, depending on where it falls, every time is different as to what you're going to need to pop that up. So I can see that I can go right there, and I guess I didn't need those glue dots in between there in the middle. Come on. Because can you see that? Where we're not hitting. So you just take and squeeze that in. Push that down, and we are good. Oh, so cute. Next, we need to just add a little bit. I like my embellishments. You know that if you watch me. So 1, 2, and 3. And I'm using the white. So, whoops. Come on, little guy. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. Now, I hope that I have inspired you. That's always my goal, is to inspire you to try something new. Get out those products that you might not have been using for a while, and find a new way to play with it. Refresh it, make it more appealing to play with. This did not take that much time, really. I mean, what are we? 10:39. So because I didn't add as much of the product to make it quite as deep, but it is still, I think, is a gorgeous card. So lovely. The recipient, whoever that might be, will love receiving that and be like, oh wow, look at that. So if you try this, I would love to know. I mean, really not that hard. Amazon, kneaded eraser, and then your cotton pads, and of course your sponge daubers. Although if you don't have a sponge dauber, you could just use this instead for right now to get your chalk on there, your soft pastels. So I'm going to check and see. No, we are not using this in the Saturday soiree, Melissa. Good morning, Melissa. No, we're not doing this for the Saturday soiree, because then you would need, that would have been on your list of products that you needed to have on hand. So I just thought that this was a fun technique to show you if you had these products. They're really inexpensive, and they'll last a long time. Look at all those colors. Imagine all the different things you can do. You can apply these with your aqua painter, with your blending brushes, and they are not, oh my gosh, they are so inexpensive. Like, let me just pull it up here. Accessories and artistic expression, accessories and more. So here we go. Soft pastels assortment. Look at that, $12.25. Like, wowzers. All of that, and the amount. This would take you so long to go through. So long. You can also just color straight on your image with them if you wanted. I mean, so many different ways to use it, but that heat and stick powder, I think really did make a difference with my image, because I did not want that black line. I knew that for a fact. So I just thought, you know what, let's give this a try. Who knows? And it worked. So I encourage you to give things a try. Just to see what'll happen. I mean, if it didn't work out, it didn't work out, but it did work out, and I was thrilled with it. So yeah, you are welcome, Heather. I mean, it's just something. Give it a try. Like I said, there was nowhere did I see. I checked through a few different videos. I had done one as well. I had done a card. So I checked to see, and nowhere did it say the heat and stick, but I think it does a fabulous job. So creating more depth to that image for the chalk to adhere to. So that is all for me today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like this technique. I hope I've inspired you. And I will see you on Wednesday at 1 o'clock over on my YouTube channel. So have a fabulous Monday, guys. I have groceries to do today because I didn't want to leave the house yesterday. So I have to go battle the store, unfortunately. So have a great day. Thanks again. I truly do appreciate you coming and spending some time with me. And see you soon. Bye for now.